Long live the king.
What's good, people? Agent Juice reporting for duty. There is a new king in town, and apparently there has been for quite some time. I very recently discovered that the Loud House has surpassed SpongeBob as the most popular cartoon on air. And it did so as soon as its first month of being on air back in 2016. Now, you'd think that me being a cartoon guy would have caught wind of that, but I guess I'm just a curmudgeonly old man. So I had to get with the times. So I wanted to kind of pick apart Loud House and see what about it made it the new great cartoon that exists on air today. So let us go ahead and buckle into our favorite house with our 11 sisters. Let us try to live as close to a normal life as possible and fail miserably while causing untold havoc all the while. Let us, of course, do the brotherly thing and smash that like button. And let us go ahead and discuss this new champion of animation. So, as we always do, the first things first is let's talk about the Speedpaint. This is a little Lion King reference. The part where Scar betrays Mufasa and throws him to the stampede of the wildebeests. And I thought it was fitting because of that, prophetic thing that he tells Mufasa of long live the king. And so this is Lincoln telling SpongeBob that his time has come and there is a new king in town. So that's the reference for the Speedpaint. Loud House is the new big mover and shaker in cartoons. It's making big waves. It's hitting a bunch of top ratings. It's the most popular show on air right now. And it has been since 2016, like when it first came out. It turns out like the first month of it being out, it was topping SpongeBob. And that kind of makes sense because like SpongeBob has been super popular for so long. I mean, by the time 2016, SpongeBob debuted in 99. So you're looking at 99, 09, 2019. That's 20 years, 19, 18, 17, 16. 29, it's 17 years. Like 16, 17 years. I'm not good at math. SpongeBob's been rocking it. So naturally, if there's going to be a new popular show, it's immediately going to kind of take hold because it's a new shiny toy. That's basically what it is. So I was aware of Loud House, but I wasn't aware that it topped SpongeBob until very recently, like I said. So I decided once I learned that, I got to watch it. It's a new phenomenon, so I have to found out about it. So I decided to dabble, check out some episodes of the first season and a little bit of the second. I didn't want to watch through all of it because there's like a jillion episodes now. It's been out for a few years and I didn't want to, watch too much of it. I just wanted to get a taste of what made it really boom, especially in those like first few months in that first season. So what makes it so great? Well, it has to do with part of what I said in my video when I mentioned what makes a successful cartoon, which of course you can watch by hitting the link below. Loud House is about Lincoln Loud, this brother, who lives with 11 crazy sisters. And it's one of those cartoons where he breaks the fourth wall a lot, where he'll address the audience and say, being a brother is really hard work, or, this thing that I gotta do is a he introduces the theme of the episode. And so it's him going through shenanigans, right? Whether it has to do with his sisters or avoiding his sisters. It's very much it's a very simple premise. And I think in its simplicity, it ends up being so popular because it's such a universal thing about family, right? The people you spend lots of time with and the struggles you have, especially if these people are diametrically opposed to you in kind of like they're just so different from you, like being all sisters and one brother, or maybe if you're just part of a big family, or maybe you just have a big group of friends or whatever. It's very universal. I think that's a big part of its success. It has a very simple structure. It is not phenomenal or groundbreaking or mind-blowing. It doesn't tell, lessons that are earth-shattering and stunning and brave or none of that. It's fun. It's a popcorn cartoon. You know what I mean? It's something that you can sit down and watch and you can laugh because they tell juvenile funny jokes. It is a kid's show, so of course they're going to make dumb kid jokes. And of course they're going to tell dumb kid stories and say dumb kid lessons. And I don't want to say dumb kid to like disparage children, because one thing I've learned about children is they're a lot smarter than they let on and a lot smarter than adults give them credit for. What I'm saying is that it's very simple, right? It's very elementary, easy to understand. And because of that, it's nice and easy and it's fun. You can pick it up, drop it, move on, come to a completely different episode, pick it up, right back up. It's not not a story that's telling a longer you know what I mean, a story. You don't have to watch multiple episodes to get like a big old overarching story or anything. It's very episodic. You can just drop in and get out. Another thing too is that its appearance, right? The design of the characters is very simplistic. It's very colorful. It pops. The characters have nice silhouettes. These are all the things I touched upon in the whole what makes a successful cartoon. Lincoln Loud, who's kind of the main character of the story, is very iconic looking. You know, he has a really distinct silhouette, much in the same way as SpongeBob. He stands out amongst all of his sisters because his sisters have, like, a good example is Lincoln's hair, which is like white hair. You know, all of his sisters are either blondes or brunettes, and here's Lincoln with like distinct white hair. And I think that is a very purposeful design they made because they probably gave him both brunette hair and blonde hair and realized he just kind of mixes in. So in order to get him to pop, they, you know, changed his design. All of these things, right? You know, simplistic design that still pops out. You know, easy to tell stories, universal themes. You know, nice and fun. You can drop in and out. Like, all of these are really nice hallmarks of successful shows. Now, there's a lot of other shows that do kind of the same thing. You know, they keep it simple, they keep it kiddie, they keep it fun. But for some reason, Loud House ended up having that X factor, what's that phrase? The je sais ne quoi, that I don't know what, that extra spice. Somehow, Loud House was able to hit it. And that being said, unfortunately, with a lot of things, there is an elephant in the room when it comes to this story, which is the creator, Chris Savino. Since this is YouTube, and I'm not allowed to say too many naughty things, Chris Savino was accused of things in 2017 that has to do with a little movement known as Me Too. Long story short, Chris Savino was Me Too'd. And so he got the boot from his show. This is something that I do have to mention because the thing about being at the top is that every eye is on you and every controversy is going to be amplified tenfold. Chris Savino ultimately ended up admitting to more or less of what he did and apologized. And of course, he was axed from his show. You know, take it how you will, one way or another, Loud House is still trucking. You know, without Chris Savino, it is still going on. And that's just something I wanted to make mention of because, as I said before, like when you make something that is the top, when you make something that is the highest grossing movie of all time, when you make like the best-selling book of all time, when you make the most popular kids animated TV show on air, these tiny details, of course, get amplified just by nature of it being on people's minds the most. So I felt like at the very least I had to make mention of it. Ultimately, as it can be plainly seen, this has not marred the Loud House's popularity, because that's the thing about a TV show is that when you pitch it to a big company like Nickelodeon, it is not yours anymore. They will put your name on it, created by you. They will pay you good money if you negotiate it, but in the end, it no longer belongs to you. They can kick you off the show, whether you deserve it or you don't, and they will reap the benefits for years, if not decades to come. Because, people, there is a new king on the throne, and his name is Lincoln, and he kicked SpongeBob off. But whether it's SpongeBob, or Lincoln, or the Rugrats reboot that they're making, it doesn't matter who sits on that throne, because the gold that king or queen makes will go into the pockets of Nickelodeon nonetheless. That kind of took a dark turn, unfortunately. But you know what? That's the biz, okay? Whenever you're dealing with the top dogs of anything, it brings out the cutthroat in people. Because when you make the top dog of anything, with great popularity comes a great amount of people looking up in your biz. And that's just the nature of it, man. Anyway, let's go ahead and wrap it up there for today. So you people know what to do. If you like what you see and you want to see more, go ahead and tickle the sacred buttons. Go ahead and, like the video, subscribe if you want to see more. Go ahead and share this video and comment down below, depending on the platform that you're on. Like if you're watching this on Minds, for example. It can be as easy as hitting that remind button, or if it's a YouTube video, you can share it the old-fashioned way. And of course, if you want to just stalk me elsewhere on the interwebs for free, you can hit up my links here on the screen. And especially, I always push minds.com because it's the new up-and-coming thing. It's doing really well so far. A lot of people are moving on to it since people have been dropping Twitter, and I think that's a good thing. It's market diversity, if you will. Anyway, with all that said, I thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you all stick around. And until next time, a riddly diddly ding dong and a deuces.